Hello, we are learning Tanya Igeres Hakodesh Epistle 6 for the 20th day of Menachem Av. In today's lesson, human intellect generated love and awe versus those divinely gifted. Okay, so you can have Ava Yira that you generated, love and awe of God that you developed, you generated, you initiated, and you have those that are gifted from above. So, love and fear versus love and fear gifted from above. We're going to see the difference between the two. Which one is higher? How do we elicit something divine beyond our reach? And if one leads to the other, how's it possible that humans work, labor would create a response from above? By going beyond our reach toward our fellow. So in short, the answer to this is going beyond our reach for someone else. Okay? Doing a favor to someone else beyond what the normal is. There's two types of avenue: love and awe. Love of God, fear of God. There's two types of them. One is, it comes from your mind. You contemplate on things that leads to Hashem's great. It leads you to that conclusion, Hashem's greatness. Or it's something that you have generated by you contemplating on Hashem's greatness. You developed it. And the other ones are coming later in a way of gift, are gifted to you. After one has acquired a love and fear of God as a result of his own contemplation, he then granted from above a heightened measure of love and fear. As explained elsewhere in comment on the verse, I shall grant you a gift, your priestly service as a gift. Book of Numbers 18:7, Shimidas Ava v'chenu gam beiro. So priesthood refers to the attribute of love. And it is likewise with regard to awe, there is a degree of fear of God that is likewise granted as a gift from above. There is surely no comparison between the first ones, the lower levels of love and fear, which are the products of the created intellect, to the one that we are gifted from above, and the latter ones, which are a gift from the Creator, blessed be His name. Just as there can be absolutely no comparison between creator and created, so there be no comparison between the love and fear generated by each of these two levels. This is why it is these latter degrees of love and fear that are referred to as truth, meaning the second ones, the ones that are gifted from above, are called truth. Meaning that the one that you have, they are not as truthful, true feelings as the one that are given to you from above. If you listen to the Maimar we learned this morning, so the Maimar over there speaks about 3 levels of truth. Because it says, Titan emes Yaakov. So the Alter Rebbe asked, what do you mean you should give emes to Yaakov? Yaakov is emes. Yaakov is the attribute of emes. So why do you have to give emes to Yaakov? So explain, the Pasuk says, Fas emes tikun lo'ad. The language of truth will last forever, will endure forever. It says there are 3 levels in truth. There's Fas emes, that Yaakov already possessed. And then there is Titan emes Yaakov, there's another level of emes. Not without the sfas, without the language of, the lips of, the language of emes, plain emes, that is given to Yaakov as a gift. That's the matana. And then there is also 5 times that Yaakov takes the Vav from Eliyahu, and which also represents, because Vav itself, or Ze'oraita, Vav is a letter of truth. So he takes 5 of those up. So that's Emes Lamitosa. It's the highest level of truth.
Why do you listen to this today? So maybe you could do Chazor tomorrow.
Yeah. So, now the seal of the Holy One, blessed be He, is truth. For He is the true truth, and in relation to Him, all truth among created beings is considered as nothing. Since God is absolute truth, the love and fear that emanates from Him are deemed truth as well. But which is the way whereby a man can merit the loftier love and fear that are termed the truth of God? It is by arousing great compassion in God's eyes for the spark that is in His soul. For the spark in his soul, this attribute of compassion is the attribute of Yaakov, who bolts from one end through the other. From the uppermost of all levels to the nethermost. Causing the truth of God to flow to this lowly, dark world. The pasuk in Micha chapter 7 verse 8, where it says, when I sit in darkness, God is a light unto me. And this is the meaning of the phrase, for this kindness has prevailed over us. Psalms 117. God's kindness has prevailed over the darkness of this world. That's the, I believe, the shortest psalm in Tehillim.
100, I think.
Psalm 100 is Mizmor L'Soido, Ru Hashem Kol Ha'otz.
Right.
Psalms 117 is Hallelujah Hashem Kol Goyim Shavuchu Kol Oim Ki Gova Anu Chasde V'Emes Hashem Lo Elu Ma'aluka. That's the whole psalm. We just said it. Right, we do say it in Hallel. So what does it mean? Ki Gova Oleinu Chasde, for His kindness has prevailed over us. God's kindness has prevailed over the darkness of this world, illuminating even that aspect of man's soul that is closed within his body. In answer to the question asked above, then it is now clear that the way by which one can arrive at God's truth is by arousal of divine compassion. Now the question is, how do we do it? How do we arouse divine compassion? However, this arousal of God's great compassion also needs to be done in truth. Your emes and the emes of Hashem are very far apart, very distant from one another. But even when it is true in mortal terms, how by means of relative truth can one arouse supernal compassion from the truth of God? Very short. The answer is, the solution recommended for this is to practice the attribute of charity. What is tzedakah? Tzedakah is rachamim. It's compassion to someone that doesn't have. Can you give somebody who you don't have compassion for? You usually don't give unless you have compassion for the person. Compassion for the cause, at least. Not for the schnorr, for the cause.
Right. That's what they bring around their letters.
To revive the spirit of the lowly. And you, now, you are created in arousal from below, initiated in arousal from below, you create in reciprocation from above. God rouses those who sleep and awakens those who slumber. He rouses His great compassion and the supernal attribute of kindness which are concealed. Right, the famous story in the Gemara that the daughter of Rabbi Akiva was all the astrologers said that she will die in the day of her wedding. Right? And why was she saved?
Because she gave tzedakah.
That's it. Was the other story, the guy that I think it was Rabbi Yochanan and another person was sitting, and the other guy was a goy that he was astrologer, and he said this guy is going to the river but he's dying, but he's going to die. So Rabbi Yochanan said, I believe it was Rabbi Yochanan, he said if he's a Jew he's not dying. If he's a Jew it's not necessarily that he's dying. So then he went and he didn't die. So the goy went to him and he saw that he picked up a bundle of wood.
Or whatever, and it had a cut snake.
So he opened it and he saw the cut snake. So he saw it. The rabbi asked him, "What did you do? Why you?" So he said he did the whole story with the bread. They were giving out bread.
Made sure the guy wasn't embarrassed.
So he aroused, even though he was decreed to die, it was all destined. The snake was there ready for him. Everything was prepared. The sin was prepared. But he was saved because he did something that changed his destiny.
Right.
So that they emerge from concealment into manifestation and into a great illumination. So that a man is illuminated with the light of life, with the truth of God unto the world. And this is the meaning of the idiom of sowing related to charity, as in the verse with which this epistle opened, he who sows charity, or as in the verse, ziru lachem litzdaka, sow for yourselves for charity. One thereby causes the supernal truth, the truth of God, to sprout. Just as a plant that sprouts reveals that which has previously sown. Said when it comes to tzedakah, the higher level of tzedakah is tzedakah that is done with Eretz Yisrael. This is achieved especially through acts of charity and true kindness that are done for the benefit of the Holy Land. May it be built and established speedily in our days. Amen. Thereby realizing the verse, truth shall sprout forth from the land, Psalm 85:12, where land alludes both to the land of Israel, here below, and to the Sephira of Malchus above, the Sephira of sovereignty above. By sowing charity in it. And the kindness and great compassion that are gathered into it and gleaned in it. Correspondingly, arouse the supreme graces that are hidden and concealed. As it is written, how great is your kindness, which you have hidden. It's not written here, but that's the end of the to those who fear you. Psalms 31:20. So that the land is established and set up firmly. Both Eretz Yisrael and the Sephira of Malchus of Atzilus must be buttressed,
strengthened.
Yeah. The latter because of its descent, in order to serve as a source of created beings that are lower than the world of Atzilus. So, Eretz Yisrael, and the latter is referring to the Sephira of Malchus. Why does it need to be strengthened? Because it's dealing with worlds that are lower than Atzilus. Because of its descent, in order to serve as a source of created beings that are lower than the world of Atzilus, lower than the world of emanations. Isaiah 54:14, this it is written, through tzedakah shall you be firmly established, referring to the establishment of the congregation of Israel, here below, as well as to its spiritual counterpart above, the Sephirah of Malchus of Atzilus, which is also known by the same name. It is in your hands, that's the takeaway from today's Tanya. It is in your hands. If you want to arouse the truth of God, then you need to serve Him with your full truth, having real compassion on your soul. The point is that if we act charitable and with kindness, we arouse supernal kindness. Baruch Tiyah.